Hello, Alexandra. You are looking absolutely wonderful today. Could you share a bite about your daily routine?
Sure. I mean, my daily routine, I wake up at 6:30, 6:20, and the most important thing for me is I exercise every day. So that's my rigorous routine is to start the day with exercise, cardio, and Pilates before going to work.
So, what does the perfect morning look like usually for you when you are not working?
Really depends. Usually, if I'm on vacation, it's really a vacation, but that never happens.
Yeah.
If I'm on
Okay, okay, okay.
vacation, usually it's maybe the one time I like to swim and I change my rhythm of exercises. I like changing things a
Okay.
bit. So that's really important for me. You know, it depends on the
So,
vacation.
Is there one habit that change everything for you as an entrepreneur?
Yes, the time constraints is everything. If I had more time, I would spend more time doing yoga, more time doing meditation, more time doing things slowly. As an entrepreneur, you need to think very fast. You need to think
okay,
before everyone
nice.
else. You need to be awake before everyone else.
Can you briefly share your journey and what first inspired you to step into entrepreneurship?
Sure. I started as a professional athlete, so I was competing for the Olympics in horse riding up until 2013, 2012, 2013. And then I had an injury, so that changed for me. And then in 2014, I set up my own real estate agency as an entrepreneur. What inspired me
Okay.
was I'm very creative. I have ideas, I have a lot of inspirations. And for me, I wanted to set something up that could be a legacy for me, to build something, to create something basically from nothing.
Okay, you built this empire alone.
Yes. And
So,
then
is there anyone who is
my
behind
business
your
partner
success?
joined me 2 years later, and then he helped me, and then we worked on it together. But yes.
Okay, is there anyone who is behind your success?
Many people are behind my success. My ex-husband he initially helped me set up the company. We did it together. And then especially my business partner now today, he's a key point to it. But then there's a lot of people that are behind it, I think. Mentors, coaches, my horse riding teachers, because they gave me the discipline. The difficult people that told me I would never manage, that I would never succeed, that I shouldn't be working, that I'm a woman. All of those people helped me because made me want to do more.
Okay, so you build business in male dominated industry. Okay.
You will build business in male dominated industry. Okay,
Completely,
so
yes.
what was the first real resistance you faced?
I think that, for example, where I am in Portugal, for example, it was quite chauvinistic at times. What I would feel as a woman walking into a boardroom, walking into a meeting room, often I was considered to be an assistant, or I wasn't given big projects. They were handed over to some of my male colleagues. So I had to prove
Okay.
myself even more to show that it wasn't just a pretty face, but I was actually capable of doing the work behind it.
So, Alexandra, do you think being a woman entrepreneur changed the way people listen to you or challenge you?
I think it's both. It challenged me before. And I think now we've really switched over the last couple of years. I think women have a lot more power, even in the Middle East. I did a lot of work in the Middle East as well. And we can see that women are starting to gradually go into those shoes as well. So now I think it's an asset because women are good at one thing, at multitasking, which very often
Yeah.
it's men can't always do. And I'm not saying that women are better. I'm just saying it's good to have a mix because then you can mix somebody who's multitasking with somebody that's going to be more problem solving. So men are much more problem solving and women are more multitasking. And if you add that together, it's incredible for any industry.
In your experience, what are the silent struggle women's leaders faced that people rarely talk about?
So I would say, and again, this goes back to being a woman. I think it's very difficult when you are not just a woman, but when you're a parent, especially you're a mother. There's so many things that you have to do, and there's so many expectations for you that are on your plate. Manage the household, be a wife, or if you're not a wife, be a woman, look good, be impressive. sleep a lot because you need to sleep a lot, but don't sleep a lot because you need to work. At the end, you feel like that you have so much on your shoulders at times, and you think, I can't. There's so many, let's say, so many roles to play specifically that can break somebody very easily.
So, how do you maintain authority and self respect without becoming overly aggressive in leadership roles?
I have shifted a lot over the last year, I believe. I had a very strong, and I had to have a very strong, like, alpha facade for many years to be able to build myself up. But now I think that's shifted a bit, and I'm using a little bit more of, let's say, the feminine side to be able to balance. Again, it goes back into balancing it. What's helped me a lot, yoga and meditation. A lot. The right coaching, yoga, and meditation has really helped to soften it and to give me a voice. Very often, I spend more time listening than I do talking now. And when I listen to my clients, I listen to my team, and then I can come up with strategies. But I can only do that when I listen and then I take the noise away. So very often, I see leaders that are barking commands, telling people what to do, but they've never actually listened to what the people are asking for.
So, Alexandra, what differences do you notice between women entrepreneurs in India versus foreign countries?
So I've worked quite a little bit with India. What I find is when Indian women specifically and entrepreneurs are powerhouses a lot. So when they stand up, they really stand up and they manage to engage a massive audience behind them. So they're really what they say kind of strong women, and they gather a lot of people, which it's very rare to see an Indian woman by herself on something. She will have a whole community behind her that follows. And that's something that I think that in the Western world, it's missing. You see a lot of female entrepreneurs, but very often they're by themselves or they have a small community. Whereas in India, if I'm not mistaken, there's a large community behind them. So they manage to engage that with them, which I find interesting.
In India, do you know Parul Gulati? She is the actor and she's the entrepreneur also.
Right. Okay.
So, do you think society support women more emotional or conditionally when they succeed?
I believe so. Yes, I believe that women are supported more when they're successful, of course. Yes.
Something has happened with you?
What I find is very often you find it's not when you're doing well that you see that you're doing well. It's actually when you're failing, because when you're failing, then you end up cleaning up the circle of people around you and you get to see what you're doing wrong. So I like to say there's problems if I'm not doing well, if I'm not succeeding, if I'm not making money. That's when you question yourself and you reevaluate. Because somebody that's always in success, they never reevaluate themselves and then they never take a step up. So I quite like being, understanding when there's a failure, when there's something going wrong, where I can fix that and what I can do better. Because if you do the same thing all the time, it gets boring and it gets obsolete. So if you want to step it up, you need to learn what's new and what can you do better.
So, how do you navigate power dynamics when the room isn't built for you?
I will learn to read the room, first of all, and see if it's not built for me. Well, then I'm going to cater it towards what maybe they're looking for to understand again. But it takes me a second to understand if this room is looking for something that's directed towards what I'm saying. Otherwise, that's when you pivot and you need to change very quickly and find out, okay, what are they looking for? What are they interested in?
How can women protect their integrity while growing in competitive environment?
Again, I think it goes down to a lot of self-knowledge, a lot of humility as well, of understanding that integral also means respecting yourself and respecting what your priorities, for example, are. So if you are a mother, for example, your priority is always going to be your children, even though you're an entrepreneur and you're successful. As a woman, we need to go back down to basics as well as who we are as well. So that's staying integral. I'm going to make sure that I'm going to keep my fitness intact because that's part of my health. And my health, without my health, there's no success. So it goes back down to basics. And if you build the basic building blocks, then you can succeed. And I think a lot of women, men as well, they reach a certain level and then they kind of lose that. But again, it goes back to going to the fundamentals of what's important in life, and that's health and family.
When Alexandra stands in the front of mirror and looks at herself, what does she think?
I'm always looking for improvements. I'm always going to point out what's wrong. This is not right. This isn't okay. This needs to be changed. Oh, you need to lose weight. Oh, you need to gain weight. Oh, I think there's always a self-reflection, and I think that's my weak point. Instead of it's good in many aspects, but it's also it would be enjoyable to say, wow, look, this is how you are today, and this is what you're looking like today, and that looks great. So I think to celebrate achievements more would be good for everyone, I think, instead of criticizing ourselves all the time.
What is the meditation of you to motivate yourself?
A lot of it's basically a meditation of gratitude, because if I go back to gratitude, I'm in the present. So I'm thanking the universe, I'm thanking God for everything that I've received already today, what I have and what I've built. So if there's days that I'm unmotivated or I feel like I'm doing really badly or something's really bad, I go back to celebrating in my head the achievements that were already done and saying like, wow, okay, if I've done this before, I can do this again.
What role does self-doubt play in leadership, and how do you personally deal with it?
Self-doubt is absolutely critical as an entrepreneur because that allows you to evolve, and evolution is necessary. That means taking the steps of identifying where, if you have doubts, that means you're unsure about something. And if you're unsure about something, it means you can fix it, you can change it. And that's fundamental in any business. Whatever you do, if you're working in a restaurant, if you're working in marketing, whatever you're doing, if you have doubts, you're reflecting, and that means you can make it better. So it's always necessary. So for me, it's part of a success, I would say. So I enjoy having some doubts.
What advice do you give to the women who feels they are not confident enough to lead?
Many things. I mean, as a confidence, you gain confidence every day by, again, celebrating the little tiny successes that you've done in life. And that's how you build confidence. So even if it's very small, you say, but I haven't achieved anything in life. Yes, you have. Maybe you woke up in the morning early and you went to the gym. That's an achievement. Maybe you cooked a really amazing meal, or you learned to cook something, or you did something. That's an achievement. So if you do that, then you can learn a new language, or you can learn something new, or you can start a new business. So focus, it's about the mindset. And it's much easier to say than to do, but a little bit goes a long way.
If any Indian want to invest their money in property, so which country is best?
I would say at the moment, Greece is very interesting for the Indian market, which we work a lot with. Greece, because it offers a golden visa, which offers a passport to Europe. So it's very interesting, and it's the cheapest entry into Europe. And then secondly, I would say Dubai. Dubai, because it offers very good tax rates. Well, I mean, 0% taxes and possibilities of living a really nice lifestyle with good salary income.
What daily habits help you to stay consistent during difficult phases?
For me, a workout is essential. So either cardio or Pilates, that for me is I think because I'm an athlete as well, everyone needs gym, but the endorphins for me it's like a substance. It's something that I need to make sure that I feel good and I can start my day. It puts me in the right mood and the right mindset.
So what do you think about the one mistake that women entrepreneurs should avoid early in their journey?
Stop relying on yourself and learn to ask a lot of questions and delegate when you can. Leaders, very often, they do everything themselves and they want to do everything themselves instead of sharing that success or passing and delegating things. You can't do everything.
So how can women balance ambition with personal values without guilt?
I think guilt is a very low frequency. So when we're feeling guilty about something, realize that the more time I'm feeling guilty about it, you should feel guilty about feeling guilty, because you're just spending energy and time feeling bad about something. Instead, if you're going to do something, do it 100%, focus on what you're doing and balance it. And when you're with your family, for example, and you have family values, then you spend time with your family. But do things always 100%. Don't give half. So if you're in it, don't think about anything else. And that's just the best way of seeing things, I think.
So why is presentation of women leaders so important, especially for young girls?
As to become entrepreneurs, you mean, or just in general?
Yeah, as an entrepreneur.
Entrepreneurship starts young as well. So the basis of entrepreneurship is creativity. So it's not just leadership, but it's creativity. So anyone that's young and that has creative ideas, I always say to young women, start writing things down, start getting creative, and don't fear failure. Because again, failure is part of your success. So when you start being an entrepreneur, means you start thinking, for example, creating small businesses and not being scared to communicate, to really be out
Okay.
there and to communicate.
How can successful women uplift others without burning out themselves?
By sharing not only your successes, but your failures as well, I think is really important, because when people see that you're human as well and that you've also been through difficulties and how did you overcome them, I think that helps a lot of other women become entrepreneurs and gain confidence as well.
So Alexandra, now you will enjoy our conversation because we start the rapid fire. Okay. Leadership is about power or responsibility?
Leadership is about responsibility. It's not about power.
Okay. Fear and failure, which taught you more?
Failure.
Advice you wish that received earlier?
Get back up. I'm a horse rider. I fall. I get back up.
One sentence for women who feel unseen today.
I think women that feel unseen is because they don't have a voice. And if you have a voice, you learn to communicate that.
If young woman from a small Indian town who is listening our podcast right now, so what would you say to her?
Never give up on your dreams, and remember something, it's never too big to become a reality. It can really happen if you put your mind to it, and if you keep on with the positive thinking and you believe you actually can. I can guarantee that.
What does impact service truly mean to you?
For me, service is about helping others to grow, to learn, to grow, to educate. There's not many things I can't say that I have a power, but if I can help somebody just with my voice and help them gain a little bit of confidence as well and help pick them up and show them that they can actually do it, that for me, I believe is an act of service in a way.
So how do you define success beyond money and recognition?
Success, it's money is energy, right? And energy is about a feeling. So when you're feeling good about yourself, for me, one of my biggest successes is not when I just make money, but when my team makes money. So if that becomes something, my agents who started from nothing as well, when they start making money, there's nothing that gives me greater success than seeing somebody else succeed. It's when you teach and you see somebody do that, because you're making somebody happy. There's a proverb that says, you're never happier than when you're giving rather than you're receiving. And I actually believe that, but it took years to understand.
This question is for Indian women especially. What mindset shift is most urgently needed today?
I would recommend doing a lot of research, listening to a lot of podcasts, and learning to balance as well your time. That's something that's really important when you're starting to become an entrepreneur. If you're in India, for example, balance your time between your mental health, your physical health, and your creativity. And that will allow you then to start achieving your goals. And if you want to go outside of India, communicate to the world as well. I mean, we have something that's incredible. We have AI now. We have access to the world in general. So wherever you are, you can communicate out. It doesn't have to stay in. And I think that's something a lot of people don't realize, that it's at your fingertips.
So there are so many talented podcasters around the world. So why did you DM me for this podcast?
I was part of a foundation, which is the Women's Indian Chamber of Commerce, for many years in Portugal. So I got to experience, luckily, a lot of very successful Indian women. And again, as I said, what I was amazed by this, and I was quite young at the time, was the community behind it, the people following behind it. It's almost like a big family in a way. And I really enjoyed that. And that's why it was important for me as well to do this podcast, because I believe that you have something so incredible and so powerful that a lot of other countries, especially Western countries, don't have, is this incredible culture, colorful in all ways, even through uniform, through everything, that it gives it so much life. And yet you have not only you have that, but you have resilience, you have calm, where yoga, where it comes from, it stems from. So you've understood it all. You've understood that the key to happiness is not just money. It's success about yourself. That's happiness. It's family. It's love, and it's gratitude for what you have. And not many other cultures have that.
So
So
how
I've
you
learned a
feel
lot.
after communicate to me?
I mean, I hope that if this can help anyone out there, and it can give any, sort of differences or understanding of what leadership is, and real leadership is also about failing and getting back up and learning every day. I mean, that's already great for me.
Why did you choose me for your podcast instead of others?
Oh, why you rather than others? Because I know that you're going to communicate this to the right people. You know where to deliver this. So you know where this goes. And this information is precious. So it needs to be delivered to the right people. So I know that. I trust you with that.
Thank you so much, Alexa.
You're
And
welcome.
Jai Hind.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Take
So
care.
very nice to meet you, and it's a very nice conversation to me that I am conversate to you in. I can't express my feeling right now.
Thank
You
you
are
very
such a
much for doing this. Likewise.
radiant woman.
I'm very grateful as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye. Take care.
Take care. Have a nice weekend. Bye bye.